According to Wikipedia, corruption can occur on different scales. There is petty corruption, which comes in the form of a little favor from one individual to another. There is also the grand corruption, which affects the government on a large scale. And of course, there is one that is so prevalent and affects the entire society. However you look at it, corruption constitutes a serious hindrance to the development of any nation. So please shun it for the betterment of our country, Nigeria. Hello and welcome to another edition of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Mohammed.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
On our lineup today, EFCC returns 10,540 euros to a Polish victim of love scam. Organized labor backs EFCC. Nigerian fugitive Wale Kekere Ekun jailed in the United Kingdom for murder. And EFCC arraigns 3 for 8 million naira fraud. This and more will come your way shortly.
For me to take make my dough.
Welcome back. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, in its bid to redeem the dented image of Nigeria in the eyes of the world, has again wiped the tears of another love scam victim, simply identified as Jamina, by recovering and returning the sum of 10,540 euros to her country's ambassador. Golden Argo has the details.
The victim, who was simply identified as Jamina, was allegedly duped 40,000 euros by the suspect, Gabriel Oseremen Savi, who operates a fake Facebook account with the name Collins Page. The suspect was traced to Benin City, Edo State, where he was arrested by EFCC operatives following a petition by the victim. Speaking at the Belgian Embassy, Abuja, during the presentation of the sum of 10,540 euros recovered from the suspected internet fraudster, the chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Lamorde, charged diplomats in the country to sensitize their citizens against internet love scam.
So the target is lonely, elderly men or women who might have either they are divorced or they are separated with their loved ones, husbands or wives, and then they want somebody to be with them in their life. And so they take opportunity of that and start demanding for all kinds of money from them. So these are the targets, people, that if there is going to be any sensitization back home, awareness campaign, it should be targeted towards such elderly persons so that they don't fall victim to any person they meet on internet website. All these romance, love sites and things like that. People should be extra careful of the people they meet on such sites to go into a relationship.
Lamorde, who also urged them to focus more on lonely elderly people who have been found to be easy prey, said that though the scammer had spent a substantial amount of the money, all the properties will be disposed of and the money returned to the victim.
More money will be recovered for her. Like the car, after the trial, the car could be sold. There may be some judgment, any assets we can trace belonging to him will get court judgment so that such assets will disposed of and the money returned to her.
The high point of the occasion was the presentation of the money to the Belgian ambassador Stefan de Luca and his Polish counterpart Andrzej Dicha by the EFCC chairman. Expressing his gratitude, Dicha thanked the Nigerian government as well as the EFCC for what he described as commitment to curbing internet scams. He remarked that it was his first time of witnessing the restitution of a victim of scam by any law enforcement agency and urged the EFCC not to rest on their oars.
And now I would like to thank you especially to Nigerian authorities for its effort to address some, let's say, situations that appear from time to time, and in fact, and that is true, that is giving a bad and not true picture of Nigeria in Poland, but also in Europe, let's say in the United States and other countries. That is not the true picture. Very few people that are looking for easy money are destroying the picture of the great nation. And that's why we do appreciate your efforts, your work. And from my side, we will try to kind of give, knowledge about what you are doing here in Nigeria, in order to make, to put the things in order.
The envoy assured that the Belgian government will carry out rigorous campaigns to sensitize its citizens on the dangers of love scam. In his remarks, De Luca, who also expressed his gratitude, extended invitation to the EFCC to be part of the meeting of Association of EU Consuls to further advise and sensitize them on internet scam.
In the European Union, we have consular meetings with all the consuls present, and they meet regularly. I think it's monthly, isn't it?
Every 2 months.
Every 2 months. It would be good, just for you to come.
The presentation was witnessed by the Deputy Head of Mission, Belgian Consulate Veronique Bernard, Polish Consul Jakub Budochowski and the EFCC officials. Golden Argo reporting for the Eagle.
Cheers! Cheers! What is it?
Please, keep to yourself.
Chief Rabo, I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
yes,
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Jova Magadam.
Is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you.
Hey!
Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe-on water. I embezzled the money. I dey fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fear, especially now that the people of EFCC are chasing people who are doing to submit other people's money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief,
Jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are didn't die of hunger and neglect, be careful. EFCC I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
The chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Lamurde, has said that a good understanding of risk assessment is crucial to the fight against money laundering and terrorist financing. Lamurde stated this at the opening of a 2-day workshop on money laundering, terrorist financing, risk assessment workshop in Abuja. Kamle Gebi has the details.
Lamurde, who spoke at the opening of a 2-day National Risk Assessment Workshop at the National Air Force Conference Center, Abuja, stated that unlike in the business community, stakeholders in public sector management had yet to appreciate the importance of risk assessment. He added that money laundering and terrorist financing posed a lot of risks to national health. In his goodwill message, Lamurde, who spoke through Director Public Affairs Department Osito Nwaja, said the public sector must contribute its quota by making the national risk assessment a success by prioritizing the allocation of scarce resources to and amongst government agencies, while also providing feedback to the anti-money laundering, AML, and combat the financing of terrorism CFT risk assessments already conducted by those in the private sector.
Overall,
The NRA on completion will afford us all not only the necessary leverage towards achieving an excellent performance in the evolution of Nigeria by the regional FATF, FRSB, GIABA in 2017, but it will enhance our country's eligibility to the FATF membership.
Also speaking, the director of the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, Francis Osani, emphasized the need for the completion of the National Risk Assessment Project in time as a condition for Nigeria to remain the sub-regional champion on the AML-CFT matters, while also positioning itself for the second round of mutual evaluation. Osani, who said the workshop was to kickstart the second phase of the National Risk Assessment Project, which involves relevant data, analysis of data collected, and publication of the final National Risk Assessment document, added that it must not lose sight of the international and local demands on the various agencies, institutions, and the country as a whole in terms of compliance with domestic and international AML-CFT standards.
From the foregoing, it has now become imminent that Nigeria, to remain the sub-regional champion on AML-CFT matters and to effectively position itself for the second round of mutual evaluation, we must conclude the National Risk Assessment Project and timely too.
In his remark, Chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, in Taekpo, urged Nigerians to be resolute in the fight to installing integrity, transparency, and accountability in both the private and public sectors. Ekpo, who spoke through Udofia Abia, charged anti-corruption agencies to appreciate the enormity of their responsibilities. According to him, risk assessment entails a systematic analysis of the nation, people, and the environment before identifying the state of affairs.
Therefore, synergies, collaborations, and meetings such as this forum are useful platforms to promoting effective intelligence liaison, intelligence sharing, and capacity building.
Also, in his remark, Abdullahi Yola, Permanent Secretary and Solicitor General of the Federation, said the workshop was intended to sensitize stakeholders on how to efficiently investigate and prosecute terrorism-related cases and recovery of proceeds of crime. According to him, many forms of organized crimes, such as terrorism and money laundering, entails layers of criminal conspiracy and responsibility. These offenses, he said, have cross-border implications as different components of the main crime occur in different jurisdictions. According to him, the investigation and prosecution of such crimes cannot be business as usual.
Nigeria is wrongly perceived internationally as a country where issues of money laundering are handled with levity. Such impression needed to be addressed in this workshop, as the present government is doing everything possible to checkmate financial crimes and terrorist challenges.
Also, in his presentation titled Significance of the National Risk Assessment in the Second Round of Nigeria's Mutual Evaluation Exercise, Abdullahi Shehu, former Director General, Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering, GIABA, said all hands must be on deck to ensure compliance. Abdullahi said relevant authorities should identify the loopholes and work on them.
This country belongs to all of us. We must therefore work collectively to improve Nigeria. It is not one man's property. It is not any community's property. It is all our own. But if I talk from an informed perspective, that does not mean that I have monopoly of wisdom. I am just contributing my own. You too, you can contribute our own. And we all individually belong to no one, and we stand for no one but for ourselves.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Worried by the rising wave of corruption, leaders of Nigerian labor unions held a solidarity rally at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC head office Abuja, led by the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC chairman Ayuba Waba. The rally was in support of the activities of the anti-graft agency in its war against corruption. Again, Golden Agu tells us more.
The Nigerian Labour Movement has thrown its weight behind Ibrahim Lamurde, chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), expressing confidence in the anti-graft agency's boss competence and commitment to the fight against corruption in Nigeria. Affiliates of the two labour centres, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, during a stopover at the Commission's headquarters as part of an anti-corruption rally in Abuja, urged Lamurde not to be distracted by recent attacks from corrupt elements who are hell-bent on undermining the EFCC's efforts to tackle humongous corruption in Nigeria. Issa Aremu, Vice President of the NLC, in a short speech during the visit, urged Lamurde not to be discouraged by the recent attacks by corrupt elements who are jittery about the Commission's activities. He said it was corruption that is fighting back, adding that they did it to the former ICPC chairman, Justice Mustapha Akombi, in 2003, when the National Assembly watered down the powers of the agency.
President Buhari said, if we do not kill corruption, corruption will kill us. I think, are we going to allow corruption to kill us? No! Are we willing to kill corruption? Yes! That is why we are here today, to strengthen the hands of EFCC.
Speaking earlier, NLC President Comrade Ayuba Waba said the rally was in support of the anti-corruption posture of the Muhammadu Buhari administration and the EFCC. Waba, who advocated that all hands must be on deck to stamp out corruption from Nigeria, pledged the union's continued support for the current leadership of EFCC in its fight against corruption.
The fight against corruption must be strengthened. EFCC should not only back, it should now back because of the disposition of the government in place. And therefore we are saying, whoever has helped himself misappropriating our commonwealth, because the fund does not even belong to government. The fund belongs to the good people of Nigeria. Those funds must be recovered. Those funds must not only be recovered, the people must be prosecuted.
Comrade Waba then presented a petition containing the demands of the organized labor to Lamurde for onward delivery to President Buhari. In a short remark afterwards, the EFCC chairman stated that the war against corruption will be fought with relentless efforts.
I want to assure you that with this our hands have been strengthened and we will do our best not to disappoint you. We will continue to do what we are doing and we shall go home and be very comfortable that the Nigerian Labour Congress and all the affiliate unions are solidly behind us. I think this is the time for all Nigerians to speak with one voice. Corruption has continued to slow down the pace of development of our country. We cannot afford to do that. If you look at the other countries that we got our independence together with them, they have gone far ahead of us.
Lamurde stated that the only way by which the government could function properly was to block all the loopholes through which corruption is perpetrated.
So I can assure you, once again, myself and my colleagues in the EFCC will always continue to partner with you.
A similar rally also held in Kano, where the head of Northwest Zonal Operation of the EFCC, Ishaq Salihu, urged organized labor to partner with the EFCC to carry out its mandate by acting as whistleblowers in any area where they find acts of corruption being perpetrated. Highlights of the event were members carrying placards with several inscriptions such as, "We have decided to fight corruption. Recover our monies in the hands of our past leaders. Corruption is the cause of non-payment of the much-awaited arrears of 53.4% pension," and "Bring it to birth, a new world from the ashes of the old," among others.
You are against corruption because corruption is a killer. If you don't kill killer, you know the killer. Killer one day you follow back yet and come and kill you.
As you can see behind me, Nigerians are tired of corruption, and that is why the NLC came today at the EFCC headquarters to join forces with the EFCC and to identify with the fight against corruption. Time to act is now. Golden Ago reporting for the Eagle.
Thank you, Golden, for that report. To echo the voice of the labor unions, enough is enough. Corruption has caused a lot of havoc in our country, and the time to act is now. Now we move on to a report on a Nigerian fugitive, Abdul Adewale Kekereekun, who was arrested on February 12, 2015 by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC for identity theft-related offences and later sentenced to life imprisonment in the United Kingdom for murder. Rolake Odofin Jolayemi completes the story.
Kekereekun was jailed for life for the murder of 18-year-old Marcus Hall in 2001 following a fight outside Luton's Atmosphere nightclub where the popular music group So Solid Crew had performed. Though 39-year-old Kekereekun, who goes by several aliases like Adebayo Dalvin James Ekun, Adebayo Kekereekun, Adebayo Musalito Kekereekun, James Dalvin, James Adebayo, had initially pleaded guilty to the murder charge before the Luton Crown Court. He later fled to Nigeria. He was, however, arrested in Nigeria in February by EFCC. During investigation, it was revealed that Kekereekun, who was arrested for fraud, was on the wanted list of the United Kingdom Police. Consequently, an extradition notice signed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Mohammed Bello Adoke was served on him by the EFCC. He was finally extradited back to the United Kingdom, where he reportedly admitted to the killing. Before his conviction, 7 of the gang members had been convicted in 2002 and 2003 for their part in Hall's murder, but 2 convictions were later quashed. Revealing how he had been traced, the Bedfordshire police said he was identified in CCTV footage of the attack where he was wearing a distinctive checked coat. Upon discovery of a flyer for the shop found by the Bedfordshire police during a raid on his home, detectives went to a designer clothes store in London where it was discovered that the jacket was one of only 9 sold in the United Kingdom and the convict was listed as one of the buyers. After the sentencing, Hall's mother, Aislinn Wilson, in a statement issued to the Bedfordshire police, was quoted to have said, "My son's death still hurts as if it had happened yesterday, and I will never get over it. You did not just ruin one life, you left a ripple effect, which has impacted on everyone involved in my son Marcus's life." It will be recalled that Abdul Adewale Kekereekun was arrested by the EFCC in Lagos on February 12, 2015, with the support of the National Crime Agency. He was picked up for identity theft-related offences only for checks by the agency to reveal that he was on the wanted list of the UK police. Rolake Odofin Jolayemi, reporting for the Eagle.
You're still watching the program, The Eagle. Next is a report on the arraignment of Salisa Adamu, Mohammed Hamman, and Mohammed Tukur before Justice M.B. Goje of the Adamawa State High Court, Yola, on a 2-count charge bordering on conspiracy. Again, Kamile Gebi is our guide.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned Salisu Adamu, Mohammed Hamma, and Mohammed Tukur before Justice M.B. Goje of the Adamawa State High Court, Yola, on a 2-count charge bordering on conspiracy, currency counterfeiting, and obtaining by false pretense. The accused persons are alleged to have defrauded Shuaibu Usman to the tune of 8 million naira, having promised to help him convert the said amount to dollars. They had posed as bureau-de-change operators, but instead of fulfilling their part of the deal, they gave Usman fake dollar notes, even after collecting the money from him. Usman had petitioned the EFCC after all efforts to get his money back from the fraudsters proved abortive. The syndicate was picked up in Mayobelwa, a village in Adamawa State, by the EFCC as they attempted to collect additional 2 million naira from him on July 22, 2015. Incriminating materials found on them include fake dollar and naira notes, charms, and 2 vehicles, Peugeot 406 and Honda Accord cars. The accused persons pleaded not guilty when the charges were read to them. In view of the plea of the accused persons, the prosecuting counsel, S.M. Aliu, asked for a trial date, which was not opposed by the defense counsel, A.M. Galaya. While adjourning the case till September 2015 for hearing of the bail application, Justice Goje ordered that they be remanded in prison custody.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's edition of The Eagle. Please don't forget to send your feedback to the Eagle at efccnigeria.org. And if you have missed any of the editions, not to worry, just log on to YouTube platform via youtube.com/official EFCC. You can also search for us on Google Plus at official EFCC or official EFCC ng@gmail.com. Don't forget to also like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC and follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. I remain yours sincerely, Aisha Mohammed, hoping to see you next week, God's willing. From me and the team, it's goodbye and God bless Nigeria.